Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mackie McCandlish, and I'm on vacation. During the flight over, I had GoGo in-flight wireless, so I played an 8-4, and I did all right. And we're gonna look over the draft and watch the replays, and it should be informative. This was the choice, and this was a really tough one because we've got really good stuff. We could cut infect with the plague stinger. We could take a golem artisan or slice in twain, and then we've got these great white choices. And this is really hard because if you take either of them, you're kind of signaling how open white is, and you're not likely to pick up. I mean, maybe you'll get the Skyguard, but if you take the Mirrorsmith or the thing you can't read, the Kembaka Regent, you don't really cut white, but they're very powerful cards. So in the end, I decided to go with leave the options open and take the Golem Artisan, which is a great card. So I took that dude, and then, if I had taken Kembaka Regent, which I almost did, I would be taking probably the Shikari in the hopes of picking up equipment later and building a cool white equipment thing. But I did not take her. So, which meant, what do I take here? Because I've got Furnace Celebration, Trigon of Rage, Ichorclaw Mirror. If I want to, there's still Infect is clearly fairly open, so I could jump into Infect on either the Fallen or the Mirror. If I was going to do Infect, I'd probably take the Mirror. And he goes okay with the Golem Artisan, who kind of does stuff on his own, really. And Barrage Ogre's great if you want to sacrifice and throw things. So I decided to take the Furnace Celebration and start building towards that, because it works out. It works okay. Furnace Celebration. Wasn't much. There's not much here, and at this point, I'm thinking, if I'm building if I'm going for a sort of sacrifice thing, then Molder Beast actually benefits a lot from sacrificing this stuff. So, out of all these cards, I feel like he fits what I've got going best. So I took the Molder Beast. Now I'm not really sure what colors I'm in for sure, and this is not a great pack for me, so it's kind of like, do you take Grafted Exoskeleton, Untamed Might? I just had to take the removal because it's also another sacrifice source, which works with Furnace Celebration. So that seemed like a fair choice, even if it's a little expensive. Obviously, I love liquid metal coating. It goes great with all sorts of sacrifice artifacts that I'm likely to get, because I can turn anything into artifact. It also goes great with Molder Beast, because I can turn stuff into an artifact when it dies, and then he gets more powerful. But I took Barrage Ogre because he's a legit creature that works well with Furnace Celebration. So it seems to me it would be greedy to take the coating at this point. Not much here is too good. I just take the Instill Infection because if I am going to be black, then that's probably a card you want. Rusted Relic, it doesn't seem like he wants to be in a deck that wants to destroy artifacts really badly, so that would have been my next pick. After that, I guess Auriok Replica, because he sacrifices, but I'm unlikely to have the mana for it, so it looks like I could still be building a fairly strong white deck if I'd gone that way. Oh yeah, I already clicked that. Volshock Replica is a sacrifice source and on color with the Furnace Celebration, so it's sort of a snap pick. Otherwise, you could maybe take the Koldatha Rebirth as a different type of sacrifice source. I think they're better than Gear Grabber or potentially useful Nihil Spellbomb. This deck is not really begging for Strider Harness, I don't think. It's not how it wants to win, and the Golden Urn is okay, but the creature is probably able to generate a little more damage. So, take the creature. Here, there's not much. Drawshopper's a sacrifice source, but the Spell Bomb is an instant sacrifice source. If it's your turn. No, instant might not be the right word. I mean, Drawshopper's an instant sacrifice source too in the same way, but Spell Bomb's potentially playable in a non-black deck, so I took the Spell Bomb. And here there's really nothing, so hate draft that dude. Hate that. This guy's a sacrifice source, so that's why I took him. So that's pack 1. I got a decent number of potentially useful cards, depending on what color I end up going. So, do you take the potentially on-color Mirror or the Throne, which is a super cool sacrifice source? And I'm feeling a little bit on the expensive and maybe benefiting from the Mirror. This was a really tough one. I'm not really sure if I did the right one. Golem probably comes around. So I take the Mirror. I could totally see the Throne being the pick here, but I think I'm probably low on creature count. Is probably what influenced that. So Snapsail Glider, probably not the pick. Now I have to choose between the Axe and the Chrome Steed. I decide to go a little crazy and risk grabbing the Slagworm. The idea being, maybe if I can play defensive enough, I can just bomb them with Furnace Celebration type tactics while I build towards my Molder Beast and my Slagworm. So, haven't played Slagworm before, so this was like sort of a trial balloon. Haven't really seen it that much either. So that is the risky pick with the cool, awesome Axe floating out there. Now that I have Slagworm, yeah, you want to pick up the wall so you can put up the wall and start bombing them and build towards expensive things. Pretty light on removal, so it's kind of between the Replica and the Death Mantle, and Chrome Steed, I guess. It's a tough one. I think at this point we're definitely green instead of black, because I think we still want to keep the whole red thing that we've already got 3 good cards for. So I give up on the black. I take the Replica, because overall I think it's more useful than the Death Mantle, but it kind of sucks to pass it. I still think that's probably the right pick. Not much here. I guess taking the lens is fine. I don't really see what else I would take here. Maybe the Flameborn Hellion. I mean, I already have a Ox of the Scrap Melter, so, or whatever he's called. Not, whatever he is. So Arbalest versus Wall versus, I guess maybe Golden Urn versus Alpha Tyrannix. And I think defensive was a fine pick. Building up as many walls and, yeah, I'm falling. It's an earthquake. Defensive stuff as possible. Oh. Okay, trying not to fall down. Love to pick up a late Acid Web Spinner here. Spider. I always call it Spinner. I mean, that's just great. And it kind of shows how open green is, so I think green is a good pick. Not much here for me, so... Are you gonna fall over? No? Okay. I'm falling. Stop it. Okay. 1 second. The cord was under the thing. I'm sorry. Grind Clock can maybe win on his own. Probably doesn't. Might scare people. Not something I love. Maybe worth trying. The other stuff was trash, so. Sideboard pick. Here, I think this is not a great pick. I already have one of these dudes, probably not playing two. Whereas Golden Urn has serious sideboard possibilities against non-infect decks, so I think I should have taken Golden Urn here. This is like, which do you want to hate the most? And maybe Carapace Forger gets played, so take that one. And see, now I've got a second dude. This is a third one. I've got a third one. I could already have a Golden Urn, which could actually be played in this deck because you can sacrifice it, which helps Molder Beast and Furnace Celebration. So, questionable stuff on the other pick.